This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
So yesterday we met my sister and her family at Portillo's for right here. It was in Skokie.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with a Portillo's.
No, you cannot.
Right. And for anybody at Portillo's that might be listening,
Yeah.
we are not opposed to some gift certificates, okay?
That's a good point.
Is there payola problems in
I don't think
podcasting?
so. I don't think so.
Come on.
Yeah, there's no rules.
Show me the Italia beef
Yeah.
here, buddy. And anyway, so we go to Portillo's, and we had two cars because Michelle and this is going to be a 30-minute story.
Okay,
by
great.
the way.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Michelle and Aaron went golfing, and then I took Julia and Lila to Portillo's. We all met there, so we had two cars. And then I had to go to the dispensary to get my nighttime gummies, so I can go to sleep like a little baby.
Right.
And so Lila said, I'm going to come with you, not to the dispensary, but I'll drop her off at Old Orchard, and then I'll just go to the dispensary.
Yeah.
So I go to the dispensary, get my pot, drive home, forgetting
Oh, my God.
that Lila was at Old Orchard. And I get home, and she calls me right. She goes, "Where are you?" And I'm like, well, "What are you talking?" I'm like, shit."
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Well, I'm thinking, maybe the whole marijuana thing isn't working out for me after all, you know?
That's terrible.
Yeah, totally just completely forgot.
You know, I found a notebook this past week.
I saw it on Facebook, yeah.
It has like, little notes like,
Pick up Johnny from orchestra or whatever. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. Sign up for Summer Quest, whatever that is.
Yeah.
All these things. It really made me, long for the days.
Right.
Until I think about things like this, because every time I dropped off Sean into practice or something, I thought to myself, "Don't forget to pick him up. Don't forget to pick him up. Don't forget to pick him up."
Right.
We're just not that good at this sort of thing.
Well, and we are. I was going to say pushing 60. I'm pushing 60.
I am.
You've
60.
pushed past 60.
Yes. Okay. It's time for the show.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie production on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
And as soon as I picked up Lila,
Yeah.
she goes, "Is this going to be on the podcast?" And I'm like, I didn't think of that, but I'm like, filling 24 minutes every week is not easy.
As it turns out, it is on the podcast this week.
Hey, we got a hell of a show. We better get cooking.
Okay.
All right. You're not a big insect fan.
I'm not. No.
No. Are you kind of like, do you eek like Lucy and the Peanuts when you
I'm
say
not that.
you're not an eeker?
No.
Well, here's the story.
I don't mind killing them.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the German in you.
It is the German in me, yeah.
Well, this story may be disconcerting to you. Spider capable of causing permanent erections shuts down entire supermarket. Permanent erections. An Austrian. To your Austrian. Und what is this?
Ein stolzer Gockel?
Is that spider?
No, that's a proud penis boner.
Oh, is it
Stolzer Gockel.
Say the spider caused my erection in German.
Oh my God! How do you say spider? It's gone. I don't know.
All right. Well, an Austrian supermarket has been temporarily shut down after one of the world's most dangerous spiders, a Brazilian wandering spider, and clearly he was wandering far away from Brazil, was discovered in a box of bananas. A bizarre side effect of this spider's bites is its ability to cause painful hours-long erections.
Gee whiz.
The impact is so dramatic that some scientists have studied the arachnid as part of research for impotence treatments like Viagra.
Okay.
So there's something in this guy's venom
that
makes Mr. Happy really happy.
Super duper happy.
The erection is a side effect that everybody who gets stung by the spider.
Spinne.
Oh, is that spider?
Spinne. Yeah.
Did you just go to Google?
I just looked it up. Yeah.
So everybody, evidently, according to Romulo Liti,
it would be die Spinne. For those of you who are making sure you get the correct article, and not der Spinne, not das Spinne.
So that's masculine.
Die Spinne.
That's feminine. Der is what is
der is masculine.
Okay.
Die is feminine. Das is neutral.
I still never understood how can a table be a male or whatever.
Exactly.
Those Germans, they have rules for everything. Anyways, according to Romulo Liti, that everybody who gets bit by the spider gets an erection. Okay.
Really?
I think he's talking about men, but I don't know. I guess it's 100%. And
that is such a weird side effect. How the heck does that happen?
I don't know. And in addition to causing erections, you can also get high blood pressure and dizziness and blood clot. I mean, don't get bit by Mr.
Don't do it just for the boner.
So when the local sheriff Peter Johnson addressed the press about the situation,
Peter Johnson.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. When the local sheriff Peter und Johnson addressed the press about the situation, he recounted that customers were scared stiff. Okay. Nobody wanted to excite it or rub it the wrong way, lest things blow up in their faces. Fortunately, the store manager was hard and firm and closed the store.
Okay. Hart und firm.
So here's a picture of the spider.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't think he's particularly attractive.
No.
To be honest with you.
No.
Might have a nice personality.
Yeah.
But doesn't really
do it for you.
Don't do anything. And I mentioned this before. If I ever get a 4-hour erection, my doctor is the lowest person on the list of people I'm calling.
You're calling everybody. No.
CNN. I'm getting on TikTok. Perhaps people that I went to high school with, purchasing billboard space downtown, all of that.
That's very nice. Well, I have a story for you. This is a story about mystery packages. All right. And it's going to require your help.
Oh.
All right. This is a story about a Virginia woman. Just imagine this. You're at home, and all of a sudden you start receiving hundreds of Amazon packages.
Yeah, that's when you have 3 teenage daughters.
Things that you did not order.
Yeah.
Headlamps, glue guns, binoculars. Everything just starts showing up. Cindy Smith said the boxes recently started showing up at her Prince William County home, and soon she had received 1,000 headlamps, 800 glue guns, and dozens of pairs of binoculars. Now, the boxes had her address, but the name of Lingxing Zhang, a name that Smith said she had never heard before. Now, they did figure out how this happened and what happened here. But before I tell you that story, because it's a mystery, and I'm teasing.
It's like Encyclopedia Brown.
It's right. I'll reveal that resolution in a moment. But first, it reminds me of a story going back to our college years, and perhaps, Dave, you can help me with this. If I recall right, there were about 10 or 15 of us at a friend's apartment having a typical college party when all of a sudden a pizza nobody ordered arrived, which was followed by another pizza, and then another pizza, and then another pizza, and another pizza, and the pizzas just kept coming.
And it was all pepperoni and mushroom
They
pizza.
were all pepperoni and mushroom pizzas. Nobody at the party would cop to it.
Right.
We all developed theories over the years of who could have done it. I thought maybe an ex-girlfriend did it. Somebody thought a pal who had passed out in an adjoining bedroom might have done it. Maybe an angry neighbor.
Yeah, sure.
It happened in 1984 or 1985. We did not resolve it, figure out what happened until spring training of 2014 or 2015. I forget which year. And I'll let Dave take it from there.
Then I had copped to it. I was the person who had ordered the pizza.
Yeah.
And I actually saved a receipt from 19, whatever it was.
Yeah, 84, 85.
Right, whatever.
Yeah.
And for whatever, what do you mean for what? I save everything from college. I mean, I just love, I just go through that stuff.
Did it have a picture of you with hair?
Yeah, just like, oh my God. It's like, here's my notebook from Philosophy 107.
Yeah.
Shit, I have an hourly 36 years ago. And I had saved one of the Pizza World receipts.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I figured that at some point I'm going to flop it out.
Yeah.
And I did.
And you waited 30 years.
Yeah,
30 years we waited for that answer.
Yes, and I copped it. Now, I don't remember, though, ordering so many.
Oh, there were tons of them.
I remember like 4 or 5. And how did it was before cell phones. I must have went into a...
You had to use somebody's phone in the house.
Yeah, I must have.
Anyway, so the resolution to the Amazon story... it turns out that there is a reason for it. All boils down to money. You have sellers located in China who are just picking random addresses, and what they want to do is clear out their old inventory.
Right.
They just want to get rid of it because it's actually cheaper to just get rid of it like that than it is to
and they can
call Amazon and get it taken care of.
And another thing that they do, I don't know what it's called, but there's like a technique that you send packages to random customers, like crappy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then because you sent it as a gift, you can leave a review then. So these companies, what they do is they I don't know, what is it called, brushing or something, or
something
I don't know.
like that. Yeah,
and so they then have the opportunity, like you said, to leave all these great, and then they can change the description of the product, so it's a whole different thing. Yet you have 8,000 number 5.
It's all a scam, ladies and gentlemen. That's just
Jeff
a free little piece of information for you.
Hey, we got a great review from Michael Paul Smith.
Oh, I love Michael Paul Smith.
Use his real name, I think.
Yeah.
These guys are here for, and these guys are here for you and for everybody. You'll feel like you're in on every joke because we say the same joke over and over again. Because their chemistry is warm, funny, and inclusive.
Ooh,
okay,
that's something we've never heard before.
That was on
inclusive if you're like a 60-something-year-old man,
right? Who likes sort of racist jokes, not really bad racist jokes, but you know, a smidgen of racist,
semi-racist jokes. Okay, well, that's very nice.
And he left that on Apple, so please, everybody,
please rate us, review us. The more reviews we get, the higher we go in the rankings. It's kind of hard to top 1%, the top 1%, but we'd like to do it. Yeah. We'd like to do it. And if you like Minutia Man, be sure to check out some of the other programs on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. You can pick out your favorite news show at opishows.com. And remember, Opie is hippo backwards, OPPIH shows.com. It's time for another feature.
Time now for Studio Walls.
And the words of the prophets were written on the studio walls.
So this is the part of the show where we reach into the archives and we play you something from our past. We've already told a story from our past in the show.
We got the Pizza World guy.
Yeah,
right?
We got the Pizza World guy. So this is the anniversary of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It came out exactly 31 years ago this week. And so we happen to have spoken to one of the stars of that film. Do you remember his name?
Yeah, it was Rob Romanos, who played Damone.
He did. He played Damone. And we talked to him about that role. We talked to him about how he researched it and where he gets recognized. I'll play a little clip from that. It's about 2 minutes, but it's fun. Here we go.
You're talking about I went to Van Nuys High School once I found out I got the role. And I just wanted to walk around the school and like get an idea of the fashions and just kind of look at the people. And I think they must have thought I was a narc. I was walking around taking notes, looking at everybody.
So the thing that I was surprised to find out is that you were 26 years old when the movie was made, something like that?
Yes, I was 26.
You totally pulled off high school kid. That was amazing.
Well, that was the big hump I had to get over in auditioning. It took me 7 weeks of auditioning.
Oh, no shit.
And
really?
Finally, in the end, I improvised everything, done every scene. The director took me to hair and makeup, and the big glitch was the producer thought I might look a little too old. And but nobody in that movie was a teenager.
Right, that's a good point.
So it actually made sense and worked out for me.
You know, Fast Times was, 35 years ago, I guess it came out?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure people still recognize you. Obviously, by your voice, people would recognize you. What is the strangest place that you have ever been recognized? Is there like a particular story or place?
One day I was floating down the Kern River up here in Southern California, and I had like a week's growth of beard. I had a baseball cap pulled over my eyes. I'm floating in the middle of the river in an inner tube, just kind of cruising down the river, and somebody yells out, "Hey, Damone!" And that totally took me out of my daydream. And I said, "How the hell did you do that?"
That's because wherever you are, you have to pretend like that's the coolest place to be.
Exactly, and your mustache was coming in.
That's
so
right. That is the place to be.
He was a nice
Damone.
By the way, it was 41 years now.
Yeah, I know. Bad math.
The thing with him that we've done this with other celebrities that had these iconic roles. Their voices are all the same. It's like we were talking to Damone, right?
Yeah.
It was he was He was a real good guy. What episode? Do you know what episode?
It was episode 11, if you would like to check it out. I also, I could do this every week. I just want to prove to you. I'm not going to do it every week, but you know how I mentioned if it took place in the 90s,
you wrote a parody song.
So this week in 1996,
okay,
Binti Wah, the gorilla at the Brookfield Zoo, saved the baby.
Okay, yeah.
And just to prove to you that
that there really is
a story, and we did it. Here's just a little squirt of it. Binti, yes, it's Binti.
The hero. I see what you're doing here.
Binti is a big hero.
Oh, I love that.
Binti was just another gorilla living at the Brookfield Zoo. A little boy fell in with the gorillas, but Binti knew what she had to do. That little boy is safe with Binti. She cradled him to her hairy chest. Now the whole world loves that Binti. Oh, Binti, why you are the best. Binti, you're a gorilla. You saved a little boy's life.
Okay. You get the gist of it. I can do that every week. So if you
maybe you should.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, I got another story. We got time?
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
An Asian woman asked AI to improve her headshot, and it turned her Caucasian.
That's not good.
In an interview with an interview with Insider, 24-year-old Rona Wang said she prompted the Playground AI image editor to make her headshot seem more professional, and instead it lightened her skin, rounded her eyes, and basically changed her to Caucasian.
Wow.
After she posted the before and after shots of
are we heading towards a racist joke here?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, good.
No. Well,
yeah.
Sometimes it just flies. Sometimes I just flop them out. I'm not 100% sure. After she posted the before and after shots of the AI generated image, people started to chime in with their experiences with racial bias and artificial intelligence and technology. User MacDaddy1 posted on Instagram that whenever he tries to take a picture of his Chinese girlfriend with his Nikon S360 digital camera, he gets an alert that the person blinked.
Oh my gosh.
Is that horrible, right?
And you'd think a Japanese camera
would figure it out, right?
Mean,
yeah, good point.
What's going on
I didn't
here?
even think of that. In 2019, a TikTok user posted a video from a Marriott hotel bathroom that showed that the faucet sensors would not, if someone of color could not turn on the water faucet, right? And then finally, just this past, here's the racist joke, by the way. There is a racist joke in here.
There was one coming.
Finally, this past year, a software program called Equipic. Okay, and what is this? Is a really cool software program. Yeah. Well, you do, you're part of the park districts, right? And you have to pick teams, right?
Yeah.
And you want them all to be equitable teams, right? So this program, you feed in the pictures of all the kids,
right?
And they are supposed to, equitably disperse. Problem is, all the Jewish kids are always at the end, always picked last. And I don't think that's true, but that's right. So
okay,
there you go.
I have a story for you. This is this takes place in Michigan, and instead of just telling you the story, I'm just gonna give you a one-line explanation. A Michigan family made a surprising discovery in their sealed package of spinach: a live frog. Yes. Listen, here we go.
My daughter was screaming. She was like, "Oh my God, it's a frog!" And I was like, "A what?" She was like, "A frog."
Camouflaged in her sealed package of spinach, a frog.
It was alive. and moving.
Amber Warwick from Southfield doesn't want to forever be known as the Frog Lady, so she's keeping her face out of this.
Just thank God I didn't eat the frog.
This week, she was shopping at Meijer off Telegraph at 12 Mile, picking up a package of Earthbound Farms organic spinach.
Well, it's
I
fresh.
didn't see anything. It didn't feel heavy or anything. I didn't feel anything wiggling.
When she got it home, her daughter spotted it. Turns out it's a Pacific tree frog native to California. Amber immediately went back to Meijer.
And it was live, by the way.
Well,
it was in a live frog inside, and it's the kind of spinach packages that you probably buy.
Is it like the boxy ones?
Yeah.
Well, how does he breathe then? It must have been so fresh.
Yeah, it
must have had.
There's like air in there or something. But so this is a frog that came from California, and the people at Meijer released it into the woods.
Yeah,
which
sure they did.
But it might, you never know when you introduce a species that is not from the area.
Well, Jurassic Park. I saw Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. But the thing that they didn't show on this video, which really bums me out, is that the frog speaks.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
Does he do a Kermit the Frog? Does he sound like
I guess
Kermit
when they opened it up.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear this.
I mean,
oh my God.
I managed to get a copy of the tape. Of what the frog
The
said.
effort you put into the show is just...
Well, I had to drive up to Michigan and everything. But here's the tape. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
I can't even do it. Here it is. Kermit the Frog here. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, say
Hey,
like,
Piggy, Kermit the Frog here.
Well, say, let me out of the spinach.
Let me out of the spinach. I'm in the spinach. All right, sorry.
That
was a long wind up for that.
That was right. Yeah,
but,
I think that was
this is an all dad joke show today. All
Yeah.
dad jokes. So my apologies to everybody out there. It's time for another feature.
A random name pulled out of Rurik's bowl of brushes with celebrities. Mixture, collection, selection, assemblage, medley, assortment, variety. Time now for Celebrity Potpourri with Rick and Dave.
It could have said,
It is me, Grover.
but it didn't.
Can
It
you
said,
do
Kermit the Frog?
Can you do? I would imagine you and I.
Hey, buddy Bert.
Oh my God, this is crazy. Well, I bet you and I could do the grumpy old men. Those two Muppet guys.
Oh, very
I'm
easily.
sure,
Very easily.
every day.
All right, so this is the part of the show where people send in their letters and emails to us, and
It's going to be hard
today. We're going to need it
because it's going to be hard to top last week's.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
But
all right, well, this is from Sandy, a woman in 1989. This is a story that goes back a ways. It's a pretty long email, but it's worth it. In 1989, I lived in Highland Park, Michigan, and there was a big announcement in the local paper that Sears was going to have a 20% off sale. My dad was always looking for a bargain.
It was Craftsman tools,
And
right?
Mom wasn't home, so he brought me along in the car. I was 11 years old.
Okay.
When we got to the store, the parking lot was full.
Yeah.
I said, Dad, let's come back tomorrow. He said, the sale is today. I need a new router.
Yeah. Does money grow on trees?
So he kept circling the parking lot, waiting for an open space. We circled for 15 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I was whining the whole time. Finally, a space opened up, and Dad sprinted into the store. Yeah. I struggled to keep up, but instead of heading towards the tools, he went to the women's clothing section.
Oh.
There was a long line there, and Dad went to the end of the line. I said, what are we doing here? Dad said he wanted to pick up something for Mom.
Sure.
When we got near the front of the line, I could see why he was there and why there was a long line. It was the model Cheryl Tiegs promoting her new clothing line. She was tall and beautiful. We never made it to the front of the line, though. They shut it down about 10 people ahead of us. When they told us that, Dad grabbed my hand and took me back to the car. I said, what about your router?
Yeah.
He didn't answer. What about the thing you wanted to buy for Mom? I asked. He didn't answer. I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling Dad didn't go to Sears for the 20% discount that day.
That was very good.
It's like, that's a good story.
That's a very, very good one.
So thank you very much, Sandy, for that. And if you want to send us your emails, please do, because we've got a nice collection of them, and people seem to like hearing them. So we're looking for brushes with celebrity stories. You can email them to me or to Dave. For some reason, people just email them to me.
Yeah.
So we have another show, Dave. Tell people about our other show. It's been off for a while.
It has been, but we have now, 3 in the can, I think, that are... It's Minutia Men Celebrity Interview, and we interview celebrities, as you know. Yeah. And in fact, the Rob Romano is an example. Yeah. Well, this past week, which we interviewed Jim Peterick and Larry Mellis.
Yes.
And
from the Ides of March.
From the Ides of March. And Jim Peterick is going to be at the City Winery coming up in...
sometime this
August,
week,
August.
I think it's the 17th.
17th. And we had him on, and this is the third time we've had
we had him on. First time we had Larry on. And there's a story about him passing out on stage, which happened a few weeks ago.
It's really creepy.
It's really creepy.
Well, it's cool creepy.
Yeah. You want to tune in for that. That's going to be a Minutia Men Celebrity Interview. We need to thank some people. We have to thank our executive producer, Tony Lasana, with opishows.com. Opie is hippo backwards, OPPIH shows.com. I'd like to thank Kermit for appearing on the show today.
We're going to get sued.
We're distributed by Ed Silla with Radio Misfits. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. It just moved to a better place, radiomisfits.com.
Let's thank Rob Romanos.
Thank Rob Romanos.
Damone from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Grover. And we'll be back again next week with another episode of
Minutia Men.
The preceding was a presentation of Opie Productions. Find our other great shows wherever you find podcasts, including opishows.com. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?